right, everybody, welcome tonight. Our current president, Ivan Valentik, is just walked in. I don't have to do it. All right.
Can I sneak by?
Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Sorry about that, folks.
And that's the end of the show. Thank you. Wow. You're gonna wing it there for a minute, Ivan.
Superman.
Yeah, it worked out. Have we opened the meeting?
You just
We're about to. Okay. All right. Wow. All right, let me just get my stuff in order. Let me know when we're ready.
We're ready.
Oh, we're live. Okay. Good evening. The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for December 2023 is now in session. I'd like to introduce my board. To my far left is TR. Ashley, I'm Ivan Valentik, Davey Rowan, and Todd Goling. To our far right is Heather Freeman, our zoning inspector. Under the advice of council, we ask that anyone speaking tonight must be sworn in. So if you plan on speaking, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. If so, say I do. All right, thank you. Please be seated. When presenting your case or commenting, please come to the microphone and state your name and address and confirm that you've been sworn in. Heather, were the legal notices published in a timely manner?
Yes, they were.
Great. Tonight we have one old business and we have 4 cases of new business, and we'll talk about the last 2 a little bit in our change of plans. So if a request is denied, you can see Heather and talk about an appeal process. Okay. First is old business. We have appeal 2018-14, Mr. Randy Viviani of 7757 Concord LLC. This will remain as old business, correct, Heather?
Yes.
Thank you.
That tabled.
All right. Next is new business, is variance application 2023-141. Mary Winfield is requesting a variance from section 16.25D to allow for the construction of a deck with an 8-foot side yard clearance in lieu of the minimum 10-foot required. This is on the property located at 11306 Alexa Drive, parcel number 08-A-0-12-L-00-026-0. Please come up and present your case.
I'm Mary, but my husband's going to be speaking for the house.
And have you both been sworn in?
Yes.
Yep.
And just
Hi,
state your
my
name.
name is Jeff
and-
Winfield. Mary and I both live at 11306 Alexa Drive in Concord here, and I have been sworn in.
Thank you, sir. If you want to go and kind of walk us through your case and what you're looking to do.
Sure. Mary and I would like to build the deck. Due to the siting and the way the house is positioned on our lot, one of the corners of our house, actually the corner that we'd like to build the deck off of, is right on the setback line. In order to build a deck straight out from the back of the house, a triangular portion, approximately 12 by 2 feet, is going to be outside the allowed area for us to have. We approximately 8 foot from the setback. We spoke to our neighbors about it. They were fine. They didn't see a problem with it. We hope that you'll approve this request. Seems to be in alignment with the neighborhood, and I guess that's about everything.
It's just actually for the very far back portion of the deck, because the property line angles, we're fine until like the last couple feet back there, and it's that little teeny piece back there that we want to keep it nice and straight and having to do some kind of weird angles in the back.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any correspondence from your neighbors confirming?
We don't.
No? Okay. all
We
right.
didn't realize that that would be helpful.
Okay. Sometimes it's nice for the file, that's all. But, okay.
And the property is fenced in, so it's within the fence lines as well too.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions, Ashley?
Freeman.
Yes.
Question about, was there ever, when this house was built, would they have needed any kind of variance or anything for the sidelines? Or is that back corner of the house within the 10 feet?
So the, where they're extending the deck from appear to be like a morning room or a sunroom. And that corner is right at the minimum 10-foot setback.
Okay, so that would have been within.
So that, the house itself complies.
Okay, perfect. I mean, it's definitely like angle there, so just curious about that. And how tall is the fence? Is it 6 foot?
It's a 5-foot fence.
5 foot fence. Okay.
Yep.
I think you said the deck is 30 inches off the ground.
I believe so.
Okay, you
Any
good?
other questions?
Yeah, I'm good. All right, thank you. Please be seated.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else here this evening that's speaking for this appeal that'd like to come up? Is there anyone here this evening that would like to speak against this appeal? If there's no further questions, the public hearing for variance number 2023-141 is now closed to the public. Can I get a motion to approve variance 2023-141?
So moved. Second.
Okay. Any discussion from the board?
Just seems like it's for 2 feet to do a little engineering to angle it off to being in compliance, I think would just be not necessary here, just for 2 feet. I don't think it's what they're asking is wildly out of range, and it seems to my OCD wouldn't like it either. It has to be square.
Yeah. I mean, one of the Duncan factors is the variance substantial. I think this one
Right.
is clearly not substantial.
So we should probably read through those, right?
Yeah. But is there any other comments from? No. The other Duncan factor, will the property yield a reasonable return, or can there be a beneficial use of the property without the variance? I think so still, but
Yeah.
I don't think you can build, I mean, then the deck gets kind of small. It's only 12 feet that they're going.
Yeah,
up.
I think they lose, 6 square feet, maybe 8 square feet.
Yeah.
So,
We talked about the variance being substantial. Will the essential character of the neighborhood be substantially altered, or will adjoining property suffer a substantial detriment?
no,
Think
appear so.
No. Will the variance adversely affect the delivery of government services?
No.
Did the property owner purchase the property with knowledge of the zoning restrictions?
yes.
Can the property be resolved in some other manner than obtaining a granting of the variance?
I don't think it's needed.
Yeah, but it's, again, the aesthetic, I think, would be lost. I think, what would the cost be? There may be additional cost, or maybe it'd be the same, but I just think it'd be a lot more effort than it's worth.
Yeah, kind of odd space. Will the variance preserve the spirit and intent of the zoning resolution, and will substantial justice be done by granting the variance?
Yes.
I think it does. Okay, anything else anyone wants to bring up? Okay. The question is on the approval of application variance number 2023-141. A yes vote approves the variance, a no vote denies the variance. Heather, please call the vote.
Mr. Hack?
Yes?
Ms. Farquhar?
Yes.
Mr. Rowan?
Yes.
Mr. Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Valente?
Yes. The variance has been approved. Thank you.
Yeah, you can leave. That's fine.
Okay, the next item is actually a conditional use permit application. Conditional use application, permit application 2023-26, Crossroads Health is requesting approval of a conditional use permit in accordance with section 13.05 and 13.16 to operate an adult group home. This is for the property located at 7480 Auburn Road, parcel number 08-A-0-19-0-000-013-0. Please come up.
Hi there.
Hi.
So,
Just state your name,
sure, Shayna Jackson.
your address, please.
Do you want my home address or my work address?
Work address is fine.
8445 Munson Road, Menor, Ohio.
And you've been sworn in?
I have.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Crossroads Health has submitted a letter of intent to purchase the property currently owned by Forbes House. You previously granted a variance use request for that particular piece of property. We would like to purchase that property, continue in the spirit in which you had originally approved the variance for. It would be a group home, honestly, transitional living, 30 to 90 days for individuals in the community who are struggling with some behavioral health issues. What it does allow is 24-hour supervision, transportation to and from appointments, and then we assist them then with locating independent living and getting them rehoused out into our communities. We provide all of their basic needs. They're there. We have at least 1 to 2, usually 2 to 3 staff members per shift. If there are any issues, our services come on site. We provide any type of crisis services that would potentially be needed, and private ambulance services should somebody need to go to the emergency room or anything as such due to medical issues or any other types of issues.
Like dining included, and I mean, you feed, everything's housed there, they don't have to leave.
Correct. They leave for appointments out into the community to get reconnected out into services. So we provide their housing, their food, treatment services, and then because obviously it's transitional in nature, so we're really providing those services, making sure they're ready to live independently, and then as they're ready with those skills, we then help them locate, either return back to where they were living previously or help them locate independent living. And it is a 16-bed facility for adults.
Is this just mental health or alcohol and drug as well?
It is primarily mental health. Every individual who's there has to have a mental health diagnosis.
Is there any property improvements you need to do or changes that you're going to be making?
So likely it's, once we got through this process, we would be engaging an architect and then obviously working very closely with you all to design the property to make sure that it fit with the architecture. Right now it's a pretty, we would need to renovate the space because currently it's been kind of taken down to the studs internally. So doing renovation work and some of those pieces so that obviously it's presentable to the community and livable.
And Heather, does that go in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission?
That would be in front of the zoning commission.
Okay.
And I have a question for you, Heather.
Yes.
I was here when we granted the variance when it was gonna be the temporary group home violence abuse shelter.
Yes.
Is this any different than that, what they're asking for?
Well, with the Forbes House, they were granted a use variance. It did not fit our definition of adult group home because they were going to have minor children.
Right?
So it's different in that respect.
But this is just gonna be all adults?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Heather, was that previous one a conditional use or a variance?
That was a use variance that was approved for the
Okay.
current owner.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, variances would, because it's not a variance, it's a conditional use. Whatever, and because Forbes House was different, it wouldn't, those don't transfer. So because it's a new organization, new use, it's a new conditional use, correct?
Right. This is not the same use that
Okay.
was granted for the
So
use
the sale
variance.
negates the previous, got it, okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Are you familiar with all the conditional use permit requirements and the adult group home requirements in our zoning? You guys are prepared to meet all those?
You do that first.
Can we get your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alice Iden.
And you've been sworn in?
Yes.
And can you just state your address for the record, please?
8445 Munson Road. So in our application, we address our compliance with section 13.05 and 13.16. Is that what you're referencing?
Correct.
Yes. So we are
Okay.
familiar with those, yes.
Okay.
Now I'm kind of. Is it 2 people per bedroom or is it 1 per? Okay, so 16 is your
Yeah, it never goes above that.
Okay, and then you have staff on site overnight?
Yep.
So it could be 24 people there? Are the 16 patient rooms?
Correct. And
Okay.
then 2 to 3 staff members.
Okay.
So up to
All right.
19 people.
Okay,
Most of the individuals that we house don't have vehicles, so parking is not something that's gonna be where we'll have multiple vehicles or any of those pieces, and any transportation that individuals need. We would have a van to be able to transport those individuals where they would need to go.
okay. And outside, are they outside hanging out smoking, or are they playing music?
Not really.
Like during
I
the
mean,
day?
they may go outside, if they go outside to smoke, they would go outside behind the building where it wouldn't be up towards the street or anything like that. But for the most part, they're in treatment most of the day
Okay.
as they're going through their days.
I just want to add that this is a state project, so we are required to have a smoke-free, drug-free environment. So
Okay.
we're not allowed to smoke.
Inside the building.
I
Are
also
they allowed to smoke outside the building?
Off the property, but not on the property.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
and I think I had read that you guys are subject to J code, a joint commission.
Yes.
So they would come in and potentially inspect and
Oh,
make sure
yes.
you meet their requirements.
And the
So I
state
think-
would come in and inspect. So we would have joint commission accreditation, so for safety, quality, compliance of facilities, and then also on top of that, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services also comes out, make sure that they inspect as well. So those happen at least every 3 years.
Yeah, I'm familiar with J code. You don't mess around with
Oh,
it.
no, mm-mm.
Would this be a secured facility? I mean, they can't come and go as they please, or?
It is not a locked facility, no. But they do sign in and out, like they would sign in and out, but it's not a locked facility where they're at risk to themselves or other individuals.
Is there somebody on site at all times?
Yes. Yep.
Is there a requirement with going through Crossroads to get into this facility in the sense of how long if you are in the recovery process, how long you need to be clean to go in? Is there a chance of detaxing? Are we talking only a week clean? Those
So
kinds of things.
none of our individuals would be detoxing.
Okay.
We would not be, and all of the individuals that we have that are in our programming for this type of service would not be they cannot be medically compromised.
Okay.
They cannot be medically unstable.
Okay.
So as a result, and because most of the folks that are coming into the facility, they would be medically cleared before they ever come in to see us as part of that process. So a physician actually evaluates them and signs off on their appropriateness for the facility itself.
So this is aimed significantly more towards mental health and less
Yes.
of the alcohol and drug addictions.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Mrs. Freeman, I have a question for you, if that's all right.
Yes.
Is this location part of the JED?
It is in the JED area, but it is not a participating member.
Okay. And is that something that your organization has discussed, or has it been brought up, or is that something, I don't even know if we can discuss it. I don't know if that's,
I don't know if it's relevant, right? Does it matter?
I don't know that it would be relevant
Okay,
to
that's
the
fine.
conditional use. I'm not sure if it was
I'm
brought up
just
to
asking
them
the
or not.
question, so I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And I'm not sure if the JED has reached out to them or not.
Okay. Any other questions for them? Okay, you can all be seated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here this evening that's speaking for this appeal that'd like to come up? Is there anyone else that's speaking against this appeal like to come up?
Hi, my name is Charles Pengel, and I'm the owner of the building next door, the professional building at 74, and
Yeah.
I have been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
And the building right next door, 7470 Auburn Road. I'm not saying I'm here to speak against it, but I have some questions. One of them is, this is an initial meeting just to kind of get it to the next step, I take it? There will be some other approvals if improvements are done to the building, that kind of thing?
Correct.
One of the things I'm concerned with is security concerns. If I have to worry about anybody wandering from over there over to where I've got a salon, I've got, some high-end office buildings over, tenants over there, construction company. So, I just wonder if there's any kind of fencing or any need for fencing or a landscape screen that might do the same thing. I just don't want to, I don't want to be a bad neighbor if this happens. I don't want to object. I like these types of organizations, I do. But I also have to protect my tenants in the property next door, so
This evening, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, so here we're gonna approve if the building can be used for this use only. So the site plan review, the building improvements will all go in front of our planning commission, which there'll be public meetings and submittals of what they're proposing for that. I'd encourage, you guys can meet without the board or in public if you guys want to, that's up to you, but that's our role here, is providing that use permit approval, correct?
Mr. Chairman, I'll just clarify a couple things. So from what I understand, the applicants are thinking about doing an addition off the back of the existing building and redoing some fencing in the back, but as far as addressing security concerns, I don't think that's anything that the zoning commission is going to get into. I'm not sure, as far as additional screening and landscaping, what might else be required on the site just for putting an addition on the back of the building. Mm-hmm. So I don't know for certain that those type of issues would be necessarily addressed at the zoning commission.
I know when I built my building, there were landscape there was a landscape plan I had to submit. There was a dumpster location I had to submit.
Well, right.
Is there any type of fencing requirement or anything for a facility like that?
No, I mean that. So with any commercial additions, I mean, yes, they will have to present probably a landscape plan. I believe it is their intent to spruce up what is there. They are intending on doing a dumpster enclosure, and maybe I shouldn't speak on behalf of them. If they want to come back up and explain that, I'd be happy for them to come up and explain that. Yeah. I don't want to speak wrong or put words in your mouth. So there will be some of those things.
Yeah, that'll all come up.
But I don't know about security. I mean, as far I don't know exactly what I kind of get a sense of what your concerns are, but I don't think security concerns would be something that the zoning commission
not sure
would
we're allowed
address.
to speak on the security of putting stipulations or regulations on an organization like that. Mm-hmm. As it was brought up earlier, they are going through JCO, and anything of that sort would probably be a requirement within them.
I don't know what
the Joint Commission, I think it's geared more towards healthcare facilities, so I don't know that they would have anything to do with security outside the premise.
Okay. But I guess, Heather, would it be appropriate just to encourage you to attend the future public meetings when the site plan, if approved here for the conditional use permit, when the site plan reviews come up in front of the board, the planning commission, and attend those meetings, voice any concerns you have in that meeting. And
I was going to say, as you stated, I mean, there's nothing stopping you all from talking outside of this meeting as well.
Absolutely.
I want to give you my card because we certainly want to be good neighbors.
Sure. And
kind of have you as part of that process to make sure that architecture meets your needs, meets our needs. And so certainly we'll want to go ahead and have that dialogue we can do that outside of this meeting so that we can have you bring your input to us, what kind of ideas, and then obviously share any potential architecture with, so that you can take a look at them as well. Because we want to be good, we want to be and pride ourselves on being really good neighbors.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
Do you have
good.
any other questions for this board?
I don't. I just wanted you to know that I was here. I attended. I had some concerns and definitely want to be kept abreast of what's going on over there. So
pay attention to the notices and check the website for the future meetings. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else this evening that'd like to come up to speak for or against this appeal? Okay, if there's no further questions, the public hearing for conditional use permit 2023-26 is now closed to the public. Can I get a motion to approve the conditional use permit?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
And I think if there was a conditional use permit on the prior use, which is very similar.
Yeah.
Similar, but not exactly the same.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes some sense, and it's a good organization for sure.
Yes, sir.
I have no comments or questions.
Okay,
No, I think, from a Duncan factor, well, then, I think we use Duncan factors for.
you wanna read through them?
No,
Excuse me. Go through them.
I think it's a
David,
different-
these would be the.
For variance, we would use Duncan.
Yeah,
factors.
these are the
As soon
general
as I said that,
criteria
Oh, yeah.
for the
there's
conditional
different
use
criteria.
and.
But I think from a value to the community standpoint, I think that right now, there's nothing going on with that property. And I think in the last few years, it hasn't looked great. Not bad, but not great. I think this is a benefit to the community. It's aesthetically, it'll be better. So I think for a lot of reasons, I'm for this conditional use. That's all I have.
Todd, anything?
I didn't know what Jayco was before tonight, so now I do.
We all learned something tonight. All right, with that then, the question is on the approval of the conditional use permit. Yes vote approves the permit, a no vote denies the permit. Heather, please call the vote.
Ms. Garkar,
Yes.
Mr. Rowan,
Yes.
Mr. Golan,
Yes?
Mr. Hack,
Yes.
and Mr. Valentick.
Yes, your conditional use permit has been approved. All right, let's see, next on our agenda is we have conditional use permit application 2023-27. Ralph Victor Construction Inc. is requesting approval for a conditional use permit in accordance with section 13.05 to have a commercial center in a planned use development is required in section 16.07E. This is for the property located at the corner of Crown Road and Hunting Lake Drive, parcel number 08-A-020-C-00-002-0. So everyone is clear, we received a letter today from Mr. Todd Victor requesting that they delay this item, this conditional use permit application for the next meeting. So can I get a vote, or how do we want to do this? All in favor? Can I just do that
Do we move to table?
to move to table this?
I just say make a motion to move it to the table to the January meeting and then just vote on it.
Then vote on it?
Yeah.
All right,
Before we make a motion, aren't we doing both variances or do we need to vote separately for both variances?
I think we have to do vote separately now.
That would keep it simpler if you did each individually.
Okay.
Do we have to break up each variance separately, or can the one variance get voted once?
I apologize. I was referring to each application, not variance.
Yeah.
Yeah, since one's the conditional use and one's the variance, I would say just do them separate.
Okay. All right. So,
I move to table conditional use permit application 2023-27 to the January meeting.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Right?
Anyone? No one's opposed. Okay. Next is variance application 2023-142. Ralph Victor Construction Inc. is requesting the following variances for the property located at the corner of Crow Road and Hunting Lake Drive, parcel number 08-A-020-C-00-002-0, a variance for the minimum 25-foot requirement of natural vegetation to be left undisturbed pursuant to the perimeter treatment narrative included as part of the master plan development for Quail Hollow property for Quail Hollow Development Inc. and approved by the Concord Township Board of Appeals or Concord Township Board of Trustees with an effective date of October 8th, 1986 as part of the rezoning of the 540 acres surrounding Quail Hollow and from R1 residential to R2 planned unit development, and a variance from section 16.07E2 to permit a counter service restaurant with a drive-through which is prohibited, and a variance from section 16.09D to permit 53 parking spaces in lieu of the minimum 80 required. Can I get a motion to table this?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? All right. Last but not least is approval of minutes from November 8th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved?
Second.
Second, any additions, deletions, modifications to the minutes? No. Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes from November 2023 as written, say aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain. I was not here.
I was gonna abstain because I was not here as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. The minutes have been approved as written. The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals for December 2023 is now closed.